Hello, I'm here to discuss about the novel Wuthering Heights, the most famous and only novel written by Emily Bronte. The novel, first of all, let me give some intro of the novel. Let me put a short summary of the novel. The novel is about two families and the two different places. The Earnshaw family and the Linton family. The Earnshaw family is living at the place named as Wuthering Heights, and the other one, Linton family, is living at the place as Thrushcross Grange. The Lintons are four members, and the Earnshaws are also four members with a housekeeper named as Nellie Dean. The Mr. Earnshaw once went to Liverpool, and on his return he returns with an orphan boy, a gypsy named Heathcliff. Heathcliff is the most important figure of the novel and is a mysterious figure. No one knows from where he came, who his parents were. That's a mystery. Mr. Earnshaw returns with Heathcliff, an orphan child. Feeling sympathy for him, he takes him with him and raises him with his own child. Mr. Earnshaw has two children, Catherine Earnshaw and Hindley Earnshaw. Catherine becomes friends with Heathcliff, but Hindley didn't like Heathcliff. They became enemies. Hindley always treats him with cruelty. But this act of Hindley makes Mr. Earnshaw to love Heathcliff more than his own son. He sends Hindley to hostel. But after Mr. Earnshaw's death, Hindley returns with a wife, Frances Earnshaw, and he treats Heathcliff as a servant. Once Heathcliff and Catherine was wandering, and they reach to Thrushcross Grange. Here Catherine gets hurt by a dog, and Miss Linton and the Lintons cures him. He stays there for 5 weeks. Catherine loves the way of their living. They are calm, and the weather of Wuthering Heights is stormy, completely opposite to Thrushcross Grange. Catherine loves the way of their living, loves the way of their talking. He loves the family. He loves Linton family, and he falls in love with Edgar Linton, the son of Mr. and Mrs. Linton. Edgar Linton also has a sister, Isabella Linton. Catherine leaves Heathcliff because of Edgar. Edgar is more, as compared to Heathcliff, is more calm, polite, rich, and a gentleman, and Heathcliff is a gypsy. This leaves Heathcliff completely ruined. Heathcliff leaves Wuthering Heights and went to somewhere no one knows where he goes, and he returns after 3 years with a lot of money. In that time, means in these 3 years, Edgar no Hindley Earnshaw becomes an alcoholic as his wife dies. Just because of the death of Frances Earnshaw, Hindley starts to drink alcohol. Heathcliff returned with the thought of taking revenge from Edgar and Hindley. He has a great hatred for both of them, as both of them are the reason for him to be away from Catherine, as he loves Catherine more than his own life. From his childhood, he wanted to be with Catherine. His own purpose of life is to love and live with Catherine. Heathcliff takes revenge from Hindley by giving him money for alcohol, and he becomes a debtor. And after the death of Hindley Earnshaw, Heathcliff owns Wuthering Heights, and he also has the purpose of owning both the places, Wuthering Heights and Thrushcross Grange. Heathcliff marries to this Edgar's sister Isabella Linton, and Catherine gives birth to a baby Catherine, and becomes ill after some time. He dies. Catherine's daughter, younger Catherine, has all the features of her mother, and Hindley has a son from Frances Earnshaw. The name of his son is Harriton Earnshaw, and Heathcliff treats his wife Isabella Linton with cruelty, as she was the sister of Edgar Linton, and Edgar was the reason of his departure. As Edgar was the main reason for him to be apart from Catherine. Heathcliff treats him cruelly. Isabella leaves him and went to London, and here she gives birth to her son, Linton Heathcliff. After the death of Isabella, Linton Heathcliff turns back to Heathcliff, but Heathcliff treats him with cruelty, same as he treated his mother. Catherine started meeting up with Harriton, but Heathcliff didn't like it. We can't say that Heathcliff was a villain. He wants to take revenge, but whenever he sees Catherine and her innocent eyes, he becomes calm and polite. He allows him to visit Wuthering Heights, to stay there. Edgar dies, and the story starts with the narrator of the story, the narrator of the novel, the outer narrator of the novel, Mr. Lockwood, who is a tenant at Thrushcross Grange. He comes to meet Heathcliff. Then he asks the Nellie Dean to tell him the complete story of Heathcliff and his past. All the events are presented by Nellie Dean. Nellie tells him the complete story of Heathcliff and his past. So Nellie Dean and Heathcliff are the two narrators of the story. Nellie Dean, as she has seen all the actions, as she is the part of all the actions. So Nellie Dean is the inner narrator of the story, and Lockwood is the outer narrator of the story. So this was a short intro of the novel Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, the only novel written by Emily Bronte. The main topics of the novels to be prepared. The main topics to be prepared to cover the whole novel are, first of all, we should prepare the topic Heathcliff as a hero or villain. The most important topic to be prepared for in this novel. And the other one is the themes of the novel, themes of Wuthering Heights. The other third one is the narrative technique. The third topic is narrative technique of Wuthering Heights. And the other narrative technique of Wuthering Heights. Themes of Wuthering Heights, Heathcliff as a hero or villain, and supernatural elements in Wuthering Heights. These four topics should be prepared to cover the complete novel Wuthering Heights. So now we should speak up about these four novels a little. First, and each topic needs a great time to be discussed. Let me throw some light on all the topics. First topic was Heathcliff as a hero or villain. Heathcliff. So as I have mentioned that Heathcliff is the main figure of the novel. He can be called as can be called as hero and villain, but it's a mystery. Nothing is completely. Nothing is clear about Heathcliff in the novel. Heathcliff is a lover, and that love leads him to become a revenger, become a villain. His appearance makes him a devil. He is a gypsy. His black and rough skin. Everyone takes him as everyone thinks of him as devil. Heathcliff becomes a revenger because of two characters, Hindley and Edgar. He hates Hindley because he treated him badly, and then the other one is Edgar. He hates and wanted to take revenge from Edgar because Edgar was the reason for him to be away from Catherine. He as his own purpose of life. His only purpose of life was to love and live with Catherine. His only purpose of life was to love and live with Catherine. But Edgar was the reason to be apart from Catherine. Heathcliff once in his childhood, Heathcliff told Nellie that he wouldn't leave her revenge. He wouldn't leave her vengeance up to God. He says that God won't have satisfaction that I shall have. Means Hindley treated him very badly, so he always wanted to take revenge from him. Hindley never liked him as he was an orphan child, a poor child, a gypsy, and Hindley never wanted him to be with his sister Catherine. But Catherine was a close friend to Heathcliff. So he makes a scheme of revenge to take from Edgar and Hindley. So Edgar and Heathcliff is a true lover of Catherine. His only desire was to love and live with Catherine. His deep romance leads him to be a revenger. He wants to marry Catherine, but because of his poverty, his rough behavior, he loses her. Heathcliff shouldn't be considered the villain of the novel. He is just a confused man enraptured by passion of Catherine's love. The other topic was themes of the Wuthering Heights. So main themes of Wuthering Heights are love and revenge. We have many themes like class difference, calm and storm, family, betrayal, many themes. But the most important one are love and revenge. Love is the major theme of the novel. All the actions takes place due to love. Because of love, Heathcliff becomes a revenger because of his love for Catherine. Love is the reason of all the actions in the play. His great love for Catherine, Heathcliff's great love becomes his weakness. Catherine also loves Heathcliff. Catherine also loves Heathcliff, not because of his low reputation but because of his low reputation he leaves Heathcliff and marries Edgar Linton. Catherine never leads a happy life away from Heathcliff. Their love ruins their life. So love can be the main theme of the novel. Revenge is also another main theme of the novel. The revenge, Heathcliff's revenge ruins the life of many characters in the novel. Heathcliff becomes a revenger because of Catherine's marriage with Hindley, with Edgar Linton, and the behavior of Hindley. He becomes a great revenger. His revenge makes him to become a devil. Revenge is like beating a dog that beats you. Austen O'Malley, a United Irish leader, states that quote, "Revenge is like beating a dog that beats you." The revenge is also the most important theme of the novel. Class difference. We see class differences. There are two families, the Linton families and the Earnshaw family and the Earnshaw family. The Lintons are well educated, well mannered, calm, polite, and rich one, while on the other hand the Earnshaws are rough in manners and in their actions. They are loud, they are rough, they are bold, they don't have manners, they are completely bold. Calm and storm is also the important theme of the novel. Calm and storm. Calm and storm, as we know that there are two places explained in the novel: Thrushcross Grange, Wuthering Heights. The weather of Thrushcross Grange is calm, and the weather of Wuthering Heights is stormy. Calm and storm is another theme. Family is also an important theme in the novel to be noted, as we can see that the complete actions of two families are presented in the novel. And the third one topic, as I told you before, that the narrative technique of Wuthering Heights. The novel has a complicated narrative technique. Wuthering Heights has a very complicated narrative structure. The incidents presented in Wuthering Heights cover a period of 30 years. The novel presents the history of two families, the Earnshaws and the Lintons. Some actions are deeply explained, while the other are skimmed. Some incidents of the novel remain unexplained, such as from where Heathcliff was born, from where he got his money, and Catherine was a ghost or not. The novel presents a strange narrative technique. Emily Bronte's narrative technique is quite different from others. Wuthering Heights actions seem never-ending actions. The time circles and the past actions seem to repeat themselves in the present. The narrator of the novel. There are two important characters of the novel: Lockwood and Nellie Dean. Lockwood is the outer narrator of the novel, and Nellie Dean is the inner narrator of the novel. And there are many other narrators presented in the story. The narrator are these narrators are Catherine and Diary of Catherine, and the letter of Isabella to Nellie Dean. Nellie presents the inner incidents of the novel to Lockwood, and Lockwood presents the outer story of the novel. And Wuthering Heights, we can say that it is not narrated through the comments of the author or through an omniscient narrator, because the narration through the message wouldn't be so fascinating. The novel is narrated through two kinds of narration: the present narrative and the past narrative. The present narrative is presented in present time, which is explained by Lockwood, and the past narrative is a past time presented by Nellie Dean. So these are the two most important narrators of the novel. Wuthering Heights is the only novel of Emily Bronte. Emily is an experienced writer. The novel almost seems like a drama. The characters explain the actions as the characters do in the play. Wuthering Heights has a complicated narrative structure. The novel presents several narrators. The reader gets engaged in the novel but cannot conclude a proper point of view. So the last one topic I told you to cover this novel is supernatural elements. Today, the most popular supernatural horror stories appear in the form of movie. And during the English Romantic period, these horror stories came in the form of Gothic novels. The novels that presents eerie atmospheric elements such as ancient castles, mysterious sounds, hidden passages. Like these Gothic novels contains ghosts, devils, vampires. Wuthering Heights also contains such elements. The novel reads as a romantic novel more than a Victorian one. Wuthering Heights presents supernatural elements. we see supernatural elements in Wuthering Heights like the ghost of Catherine, ghost of Hindley, and the ghost of Catherine and Heathcliff. And Heathcliff's appearance as a devil. Ghost of Catherine, as we know, as we can see that in the novel. First of all, Lockwood sees the ghost of Catherine in his dream. He asks him, "Let me in, let me in." Hindley becomes worried and he told all the story to Heathcliff. And Lockwood becomes worried and tells the dream to Heathcliff, and he thinks that he also will become fearful, but Heathcliff and requests that Kathy do come, please do come, as his love was like a madness. He wanted to be with Catherine, no matter in which form, in like a living person or as a ghost. So ghost of Catherine can be seen in the novel. Ghost of Hindley can be seen in the novel. Hindley, the elder brother of Catherine Archie, also appears as a ghost in the novel. Nellie Dean, the housekeeper and the close friend of Hindley, sees the ghost of her childhood friend. The ghost of Hindley is seen by narrator. Mysteries of the ghosts are unexplained. The villagers also says that they have seen the ghost of Catherine and Heathcliff. They have seen the ghost of Heathcliff along with a girl, and they say that there was a ghost of Catherine with Heathcliff. The two lovers were living together after their deaths. Supernatural elements are presented in the novel by Emily Bronte. When in the beginning we see the ghost of Catherine, we get more involved in the novel to find out what the reality of the story is. The novel presents only few supernatural events. These events remain unexplained till end. These elements attract the reader, and the reader becomes curious to find out the reality. So these are the four topics are the most important one to cover the whole novel Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. These topics are Heathcliff as a hero or a revenger, themes of the novel, supernatural elements, narrative technique. Narrative technique is complicated and mysterious and fascinating. It has present and past narrative technique. When themes of the novel are love, revenge, class difference, calm and storm, family, etc. The Heathcliff as a hero or a villain. Heathcliff couldn't be considered completely as a hero or completely as a villain. He is just a mad lover. And the other one is supernatural elements. So we can see that few elements, supernatural elements, but these elements are unexplained. So these are the most important topics to cover the whole novel Wuthering Heights. I hope you guys get my words and I had explained it in a well manner. Hope so. Thank you.